Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It's Kevin here with What's New Today. Stay tuned and watch the rest of this video as I go over some of the things with my Arrma 3S. So stay tuned. Alright, here we go. Okay guys, so welcome back. So here we are with the Protek PTK 2111. So again, I want to change this out and put the fan on here, but I'll show you exactly what I mean in terms of size. So basically I'm going to have to take this apart here. And I'll show you what I mean, because I'm going to have to actually install the plug into the receiver, only because this, again, the footprint for the ESC is very small. So I'm going to have to show you. It's going to take, I guess, a little bit longer than normal. So I'm going to unplug this. So we'll kind of like see again, just to make sure that we know which side is which. So the negative is actually facing toward me and the positive is out here. And I'll show you why that we can't plug the ESC, the fan, I mean, directly onto this ESC. So we're gonna have to pull off this shroud, and it's all held in by wires. And then what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna cut it. Again, this is just a plastic shroud that goes over the ESC, goes over this plug here and that. Let me see if I can. What's holding it down? I got it off last time with no problems, but let me see here. There we go. So as you can see, it's just like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna snip this so I don't actually have to pull it off of the wires. But let me just show you what I mean in terms of being able to plug this in. So I'm gonna open up the fan here. And again, the reason why I like these fans is that it does blow a lot of air. It does move a lot of air, and it keeps everything cool. And originally I got this for the Traxxas, the Hoss, and my Max, only because when I'm bashing, dirt and debris, especially a lot of leaves, get into the fan. And this fan, it resists breaking. So that's the reason why I got this fan. It blows a lot of air, moves a lot of air, and I really like it a lot. So as you can see, I got some debris in here already. So if I were to plug this in, and I'll show you what I mean. If I plug this in like this, there's no way that I can actually, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll move this light closer. Well, actually, I got this new light too. Let me try out this new light. I know, because I'm always having problems with lighting. There we go. That's much better, because this big light is always in my way. So here we go. So I don't know if you can see this. So this is much better. So as you can see here, there's no way that I can fit this fan over here without that plug being in the way. So the only way we can get power supply to this fan is if we actually mount it to the ESC. So I'm going to have to route the wires to the ESC. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to take out this cover. Okay, so let me kind of clean this up. I'll get everything set, ready, and what I'll do is I'll take off the screws here. I'll end up taking off this plastic shroud. And again, I don't intend to keep this shroud. And we can always put it back into place by these screws, so we don't really need the plastic here. I'll just cut it off with my snips, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, so hang on guys, we'll get back to you. Okay guys, so I'm back. Let me just get something so I can point out to what I did. So basically I just took off these two screws here, that one and this one, and I'm able to remove the ESC from the cover. And again, we're gonna have to run this fan, and they supply you already with plugs, an extension plug here. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna plug this in, and you can see there's a male and a female here. So just follow the grooves. If you can see this here, it has grooves here, and then we'll just plug it in like this. And then this is just going to plug into the receiver for power. Okay, so however you want to get it into your box, your receiver box, is how we're going to do it. I'm going to grab go to my toolbox here. I'm going to grab some snips like this, and because I don't want to take off all of these wire looms, I'm just going to cut this here. So let me just kind of loosen this up where I got some space. Would be the best way. Got space here, because we really don't need this plastic sheath. And I really don't want to have to and we have 3 here, so let me just see. I'll use my light again that I got just to help me see. I'm gonna have to cut 1, 2, and a third. Okay. Oh, let me make sure that's off, and we'll just pull it through. Okay, so we don't need this. As you can see, here's the fan, the stock fan, the Arrma fan, and look how small that is. So this is the only thing that's cooling your Typhon ESC. And the whole purpose of me doing this again was when I did a bash. I did a bash session. Yeah, or I did a bash session in front of my house, and when I took off the cover, this is actually like a half an hour later. When I took off the cover or the body off of the Typhon, let me show you the body of the Typhon. When I took this off, I just noticed that there was so much trapped hot air in here that I'm afraid that the electronics would actually, you know, lose longevity or lose some longevity there, because there's just no way that the hot air could escape. I mean, just looking at the body, if I were to put this on, it's basically trapping all of the hot air. There's no vents or anything. So what I did with my Dremel tool was basically just cut some relief hose here in the stock body as best as I could, and hopefully the hot air could escape. Even for like air intake, we're gonna have to rely on just some of the vents that's here. Let me see if I can line up the body posts here. Let me get this down. So here's the body post. So there's not much air intake if you look at it. You know what I mean? So if you look at the front, this is the only way air is gonna enter the chassis. There's just no ventilation. So at least we have hot air that can escape here. What I was thinking of doing is maybe drilling some holes on the top, or maybe some on the side here, just to get some air into the body. Or I could kind of ream this out and make a hole here. I think that's what I'll do, because I don't want a direct hole on the top so that water can get in here. And I don't want to make a hole here so that if any dirt and debris or water from the tires as it moves gets into the body there. So what I'll do, I'll get my Dremel and I'll cut some relief holes on both sides here. That way it's closest to the ESC. There's some way of air getting in, and now we have air getting out. Okay, so let's take this body back off and let's try and route these wires. So we have our ESC fan. I'm gonna have it come around, so I'll just make it come around here, and we're just gonna pick a plug. So I'm gonna grab my battery, plug it into an available port on the ESC, and whether or not it works or not is just knowing what's positive and negative. Unfortunately, this doesn't have on the plug which is positive or negative, so I'm just gonna guess that positive is on the inside, negative is on the outside. And I'll just plug it in here to port 3. And we can test it by just getting a LiPo battery. Let me see if I have a 3-cell LiPo. It's not fully charged, but it has enough charge. I think I have like 3.7 volts available on the last time I took this out. So this still does have a charge. Let me just double check it. Whoop. Where'd it go? Okay. So let me check what the charge is on this. Again, this is a 3-cell battery. I have my LiPo charger or voltage checker here. Plug it in. 3 cells. Checking all. 11.4 volts. Cell 1. 379, cell 2, 379, and to cell 3 is 381. So we have enough charge to plug it in and just to check the fan. So I'm going to do this without plugging it into my transmitter. But again, we just want to check the fan. So plug that in, turn this on. And look at that, guys. Look how much air this blows. And you want to make sure that you know which way it's blowing down. Well, maybe I'll suck it out. Not sure yet. So you know what I do? I'll face it so it's blowing down. So blowing down is this way. So Protek facing up, it's blowing air down to cool the ESC, and then we know it works. Okay. So now that we know it works in the orientation that I want to put it in, basically all I need to do now is just look at that. Look how much air this is blowing onto the motor on the heatsink on that. Okay, so now that we know which direction it's going to be blowing down, all I have to do is move this battery out of the way, is again route my wiring around here so I can get to the ESC. And all I'm doing is I'm going to use a pair of pliers just to get into that rubber grommet. So as you know, there's a rubber grommet here just to get into the receiver box. I'm going to pull it up a little, just like that. And with enough slack, or just enough slack. You don't want too much slack. We're just going to mount this in there. So as I push this down, it's going to push that rubber grommet back in. And this is just to help keep the receiver box waterproof. So just like that. Okay. So let's put the cover back on. We have to get this back in there too. I guess this wire came out once we had the other wire in, so push this down as well. Just like that. What is all these other wires? Just gotta make sure. Let's see here. So we have some wires in here that I want to make sure that I'm routing really, really well. So this is gonna come around. This will go. Okay, I understand. I'm gonna route this around as well. There you go. This is going around. This is my wire going directly to the ESC. So wire management is important, guys. You don't want to bind anything or break up any of your wires. There could be a fire hazard, or again, just losing control of your RC. So that's done. All I need to do is put the cover back on. And it is kind of busy in this receiver box, because again, as you know, I have the Dumbo RC, transmitter and ESC in here. This is the EX. Gotta be careful here, guys, because look, I already see like there's a pinch on this wire here, and that's my antenna. So I'm gonna be careful that I don't cut this wire. See there? There's already a bind there. So gotta be careful, guys, when you put things back into your receiver box, that you're not closing in on any of your wires. Because I know it's out of sight when you put these back, but you don't want to be messing up with any of the electronic wires, because you'll lose connectivity. So hang on, guys. Okay, so back to it. So look how steady and secure this is now. So I mean, it takes a little bit of time. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm making this video in front of you, so it's not like, hey, you just put it in, screw it in, you're done. It takes a little bit of time just to make, you know, all your wires nice and tucked, all out of place, visually and out of the way, so that when you're bashing, you're not, you know, you're not basically doing anything in terms of hurting any part of your electronics or anything. So I might even change this screw, because it doesn't seem to be purchasing enough. Let me see if I have a longer one. So it seems like an 8 is a little short. I don't, no, that was a 10. No, that's a 12. Shoot, I don't even know. 13, 16 corner. I think that's a 16 because this is a 20. So the 16 seems to be the only one that's tight enough. I was just hoping that it would reach a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, that's secure. That's not looking. I can hold it up just by pulling on the fan. So again, I'll just show you. I'll plug it in, get it to run, and it's gonna help drastically with the cooling of both this ESC and the motor. So the motor's been cool already. I already ran it with the Protek fan over the motor, and now that I got this in from eBay, we'll see how. Okay, look how much it's blowing. So that'll definitely keep my ESC cooler. And now that we're moving a lot of air, it'll keep hot air flowing out of the chassis. So once we get this over here, it'll move hot air out of these holes I made, and I think I'm gonna Dremel this out and just add a little bit more air ventilation into the body. Okay guys, so that's it. I know it's a mess that I made here, all these fans and screws, but that's what you need to do in order to, you know, that's the whole purpose of my channel, is just finding things for the hobby in order to make our RC better. And that's what I really like. I like these Protek fans. They're really nice in terms of visual looks because it is fully aluminum. They move a lot of air. They're relatively cheap. I got these off of eBay for like 20 bucks. And they serve a purpose. They keep my ESC and my motor cool. So that's it guys. That's it. The Protek fans. The PTK 2111. I hope you like it. Again, use these fans for your Arrmas. You can get larger size fans or just different size fans depending on what model that you have, whether it's a 6S or 8S. But in terms of my 3S, because that's what I'm running now, as well as my 4S Outcast, I do have these Protek fans over them. And I'm using other fans too, like these Nidec ones that I make like this. They come to me off of eBay. These are server fans, 40 by 40. And I just cut off and snip off these and then make my own. And then basically it looks like this. Paint my own fan shroud cover. And I put balance leads and I can plug this in directly into my LiPo, 3S LiPo. These blow a lot of air compared to the GCRC fans, which are very, very expensive, like $70 for those. So that's it, gang. That's it for this video. Hope you like it a lot. Post in the comments of what you think of these fans. If you like them a lot, I mean, $20 a pop. They're not very expensive. It'll keep your electronics cool, keep your under your body cool. So that's it, guys. All right. See you again soon. Bye.